360 class. Today we are going to discuss our third chapter of geography site, and that is our changing earth. So what we will study in this chapter? The learning objectives of this chapter are the endogenic forces, exogenic forces, volcanoes, earthquake and major landform. So let's start with the first topic, earth movements. You know that our earth is never still or quiet. There are constant changes seen on its surface. In previous classes, we discussed about the earth structural diagram, or we can say that earth has a layered structure somewhat like a huge boiled egg or onion. The deepest layer is called as the core, the next one called as the mantle, and the uppermost layer is called as the earth crust. So this earth crust has two crustal layers along with the uppermost layer of the mantle are referred to as lithosphere. Means the lithosphere has continental plates and oceanic plates. Okay. So you will be just surprised to know that these plates move around very slowly, just a few millimeters each year. Okay. The movement of these plates causes changes on the surface of the earth. The earth movements are divided on the basis of the forces which cause them. Earth movements are caused by two forces. First one called as the endogenic forces and second one is called as the exogenic forces. Endo means inside of the earth and exo means outside of the earth. Endogenic forces again can be classified as sudden forces, and second one is called as the diastrophic forces. You know that there are constant changes seen on earth's surface. Some changes are sudden and their impact is visible. Okay, just like the earthquake, volcano, landslides are caused by the internal forces that bring about a change on earth's surface. Just like mountain building forces called as the diastrophic forces. But remember, it is not like sudden forces. It will take a long time. Now we are going to discuss the second part, and that is exogenic forces. Exogenic forces, or the external forces, act on the earth's surface to show definite through very slow changes. Okay, they sculpt and shape the various highland and lowlands to bring out changes over a period of thousands or millions of years. Agents of gradation are the steady levelers such as running water, moving ice, wind, sea waves and glaciers. Okay, that act slowly to change the major and minor land features by erosion, transportation and deposition of rocks, forming fine soil deposit. They crease out the irregularities created on the earth, wearing down the highlands and depositing the material in the lowland. So a quick revision of earth movements. So earth movements are caused by endogenic forces and exogenic forces. Endogenic again divided into sudden forces. Sudden forces like earthquake, volcano and landslide. And diastrophic forces mean the mountain building forces, mainly for full mountain. Exogenic forces are called as the erosional forces or the depositional forces like river, wind, sea waves and glaciers, and these are called as the agent of gradation. Got it now? Now we are going to discuss our next topic, and that is volcanoes. So what are volcanoes? Volcanoes are vents or fissure-like opening in the earth crust through which extremely hot, viscous, molten rock material called magma charged with gas and the volatile matter erupt. So the question is, what is the meaning of viscous? Viscous means the thickness of any kind of fluid. Okay, and volatile means that can easily change into gases. Got it now? So magma is a fluid at about 1000 degrees centigrade. It reaches the earth's surface from magma chamber. Okay, at the depth of about 100 km inside the earth, from where it rises as it is under great pressure and high temperatures. On rising, dissolved gases in it expand, are released, giving the magma an upward boost. Okay. On reaching the Earth's surface, it cools depending on its viscosity, emerging as lava, which further cools down to form solid rock. So inside of the earth, this molten material called magma, when this molten material reaches upon the earth's surface, it is called lava. Volcanic materials are thrown out either very slowly or explosively depending on the kind of eruption. This material include hot molten rocks along with the volcanic ash, rock bombs, stream or gases. Okay, the funnel shaped area around the vent, okay, is called as crater. Repeated volcanic eruption result in the formation of volcanic cone or volcanic mountain like Mount Fuji in Japan. There are different types of volcanoes, just like the active volcanoes, also called as the live volcanoes erupting at present, like Mount Etna in Italy. Second one, dormant volcanoes, or we can say the sleeping volcanoes, have not erupted for a long time. Example, Vesuvius in Italy. Next one, the extinct type of volcano, or we can say that dead volcano, have not erupted since historic times. Example, Mount Kilimanjaro in Tanzania. Now we are going to discuss our next topic, and that is earthquake. So what is earthquake? An earthquake is defined as sudden movement of the earth crust caused by the readjustment of tectonic plates, or we can say the lithospheric plates, or the sudden release of the stress stored in rock of the earth crust. According to your book, when the lithospheric plates move, the surface of the earth vibrates. The vibration can travel all around the earth. These vibrations are called earthquakes. So the question is, what is the mechanism of earthquake? Remember, the place in the crust where the movement starts is called as focus. The point of the actual rock rupture is called as the focus or hypocenter. Remember, the focus is usually found far beneath the surface, and the place on the surface above the focus is called as epicenter. Vibration travel outwards from the epicenter as waves. There are three types of earthquakes waves or seismic waves. First one called as the P waves or the primary waves, or we can say the longitudinal waves. Second one called as the secondary waves, or we can say the S waves. It is also called as the transverse waves. Third one is called as the L waves, or we can say the love waves, or we can say the surface waves. In any other class, we will discuss these waves in details. Remember children, the greatest damage is usually closest to the epicenter, and the strength of the earthquake decreases away from the center. Now we are going to discuss some terms related to the earthquake. So first one, seismograph. The vibration produced by the earthquakes are detected, recorded and measured by an instrument called seismograph. Next one, Richter scale. The Richter scale is a scale of numbers used to tell the power, or we can say the magnitude of earthquakes. A quake of magnitude 2 is smallest quake. Earthquakes with a Richter value of 6 or more are considered as major ones. Got it now? Next one, the Mercalli scale. Mercalli's intensity scale is based on the observation of earthquake damage. It is intensity value of 1 to 12. Okay. Next one, seismologist. We can say the seismologists are experts who study and monitor earthquake waves, behaviors and earthquake pattern. Now we are going to discuss our last topic for today's class, and that is earthquake preparedness. So if you will find out any kind of earthquake situation, how will we deal over this situation? So first one, just like find out any kind of safe spot under a kitchen counter, table or desk, against an inside corner or wall. Stay away from the fireplaces, areas around chimneys, windows that shatter including mirrors and picture frames. Be prepared. Spread awareness amongst your friends and family members face any kind of disaster confidently. So enough for today's class. We'll meet in our next class. Now bye. Happy learning.